The orientation is that I'm coming to pack money. I'm coming to work.
And they want to use work and give themselves.
So why? But you have to leave work small. You have to leave the pounds.
Let the work breathe.
Let the work breathe. And you know what I mean?
Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. It's Nurse Mimi here again, and if it's the first time I'm coming to my channel, I'm Nurse Miracle. I'm a nurse and an entrepreneur based in the UK. So you guys, as you can see, I've got someone here on this channel. So I have a guest here and we'll be talking about, before that, let me use this opportunity to thank everyone that has been on the channel with me from day one, that has been watching my videos, and to my returning subscribers and the new subscribers. Thank you all so much, and you are VPs. So like I was saying, I've got someone here, a guest, and he is, anyway, I'll let him introduce himself and tell us about himself. Let me not do the introduction because I'm not him, he's not me. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having me here. My name is Anthony.
Okay.
And I'm a UK-based radiographer.
Okay.
It's a pleasure having me here, and I feel honored.
Thank you. Sounds so gentleman-like.
Of course, I'm a gentleman. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Temple, what do you want me to call you, Anthony or Temple?
Yeah, Anthony preferably.
Anthony. Okay. So Anthony, thanks for thanks for coming to the channel, and thanks for honoring my invitation. So most people have been asking on the channel, and before we get into that, can we get to know a bit more about yourself, like what you do, how long you've been in UK, just tell us a bit more. Want to know more about yourself.
Okay. Well, I've been in the UK now for like 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 months now.
Okay.
And like I said earlier on, I'm a UK-based radiographer.
Okay.
And currently reside in Liverpool. Where I work with one of the best NHS trusts here in Liverpool. Emphasis
on best. Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
So
Nice.
We've got nice people and nice facility there. So
nice. That's good. Okay. So where are you from originally, Temple?
Yeah, I'm from Nigeria.
Okay.
I'm from Nigeria originally.
Nice.
Nigeria abroad.
As in. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about your experience so far in the UK? Like, what has life been like? Life in UK, working in different place entirely. Like, tell us about what life has been for you lately in UK.
Okay.
Your experience.
As regards my experience here in the UK, to be honest, it's been wonderful. It's been fantastic. Like, it's been awesome.
Okay.
Where I reside and where I work, they're actually lovely people.
Aww.
They're actually nice. Always there to help and to give you any assistance they can actually offer to you.
Aww.
And I could remember when I came in, they were so supportive, and it gave me that confidence. It boosted my confidence to be able to say, okay, I've got people who show support,
like a family.
So it's just like I'm new in town, but then I've got a family at a workplace who are ready to support me and then give me all the necessary, assistance that I will need to, have in order to, balance where I'm set in and then also deliver where as I've promised to deliver. Really, when they don't now.
Yeah.
So it's been nice. So apart from work, the street life, the life outside work is also amazing. And well, I wouldn't say much, but I think I'm a bit favored in the sense that things are just working so well. In terms of getting a house, when people were like, it's quite difficult, getting accommodation. But
you didn't have that challenge.
Yeah, the opposite was for me.
You're lucky.
And I don't know. It's been lively. It's not like boring like they call it to be. So
nice.
Lively, nice.
This is actually like a change, because most people have actually had on the channel.
Yeah.
How they start with, it's boring. and there's nowhere to go. And then when I talk about the experience at work, is really like horrible experiences. Although not like all of them, but like 95% of them are always like talking about like the bad experiences at work. But this is like different. This is like a different, and I'm really happy to hear that, because it's nice for people to also know that amidst all of the troubles and everything going on, there's still something good happening out there also, because there's so many trolls out there. So when people work in different trolls, so I believe your choice is like one of the best for you to be like that.
Yeah,
that's
one of
really
the best in Merseyside.
That's good. That's really good. Very good information. Thank you for that. So was there any challenge for you, like coming to the UK or anything? Did you face any challenge? Did you feel any culture shock or anything? Was there anything that stood out for you?
Well, basically I think the little challenge I had then was just the language, understanding them properly, because I was thinking back home based on the Nollywood movie we used to watch, so I thought that I understood English properly, but once I came over here, I understand that
the English is different.
That's
English different styles of English.
English to get levels to this thing. I think they call them here the Scouts language. So it was
Scouts.
Yeah, I think it's
okay. So the different parts of the United Kingdom, they have different English they speak. Wow.
Yes. So
that's true, because where I was working before in Wales, their English sounds different. They speak Welsh, and then their English sounds different as well. I think that's actually true.
Yeah, so it's just like dialects inside English.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. So it was a bit difficult, especially with my line manager, because I think sometimes she would ask me, if I was okay, if I was fine, and I would be like, yes.
Even if you don't understand.
Yes, I think that was the day she caught me, because she was trying to give me a form to fill, and I never knew that form was for me. And then I was just like, yes, nodding my head, and then someone beside me was like, she said, take the form, fill for Susan and so purpose. I was like, oh really?
Yes.
Oh, you need to. So she was like, yeah, huh? Yes, huh? So I was like, oh, so sorry about that. I had to get the form, and I had to make a resolution that I'll try my best to to put my ears down in order to
and not pretend like you understand what they're saying when you don't understand it, because it's really like risky when someone says something and you assume that's what they mean. It can actually cause like a lot of, especially when it comes to a health sector, working health sector. So you really need to be like, you need to communicate very clearly, legible, clearly, exactly. So you shouldn't like assume or anything. That's true. Anyway, was there any other thing that stood out for you? Was it just the communication? Was there any food? Making new friends? Weather? Anything else? Was it just the communication part?
I think it's just the communication part, because if it's about the weather, I've always loved the weather.
Have you? So you like the cold weather? Because most people are always complaining about like the weather, that like, and then their skin conditions, all this stuff.
I didn't have such.
You didn't have any of that. You're very lucky.
Yeah, so it was going on fine for me. I could remember back home, I could turn on the AC and enjoy myself. I'm like, isn't this place too cold? Let me turn the AC up. I said, if you go Canada now like this, you want to survive. We will train ourselves, and then I think the weather here is just awesome. And funny enough, I was having a chat with some of my colleagues at work during our lunchtime. And I was like telling them that this weather is just so sweet for my skin, that I really enjoy the weather. That feels like UK was meant for me. And funny enough, they were telling me that they don't like the weather. They love African weather. They love the sun.
Have they been to Nigeria?
So
they should visit Nigeria. Because they all say the same thing.
Honestly, you never see Shege. If you see Shege, I see you won't tell me that you want to go back to Africa.
They have this once they visit Nigeria, they will have a different thought. They'll have a different thought, definitely. Definitely, because it's really hot in Nigeria.
Hot, Come on, small heat. They say it's sonic wave,
heat wave.
Don't know. 35 degrees.
So Anthony, so thank you for sharing your experience with us and your challenge so far in UK. That's a really good one. To be honest, that's very, very good one. It's a different thing I'm hearing entirely from you.
Oh, really?
Most people are getting like reactions weather, unbearable weather conditions, etc. But you've had a very good working experience, but it's very good weather condition. In fact, you would really enjoy the weather, and then you also like accept the communication part, which is your challenge, which everybody usually like have. It's normal thing anyway.
At first now, but with time, you
Get
it's
to
practice and
adapt.
you keep listening to them, so you get to fine tune to this.
Have you ever
program.
had any issues at work before? Like any issues at all?
Not really, not really.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So, Anthony, can you tell us about, like, let's just go straight into the main thing that brought us to this channel, to this to this point. The main thing that brought us to this topic. Okay. So most people have been asking me about how to migrate to the UK as a radiographer, as a lab scientist, as student. But I myself, I'm a nurse, so I can only tell people what I know, what I'm sure of, which is legit, and I've done my parts. So now I'm now left to like get other people that is on different fields, which know more about these informations more than I do, which is why you are here with us. Thanks again for being here. So the people want to know, they want you to tell us about the pathways or how to migrate to the UK as a radiographer, which is your field. You're a radiographer. Okay, so just tell us about that. Just make it like, just tell us like a 5-year-old. Just tell it so like a 5-year-old, like from scratch, like things we need to do, what we need to do, like everything. Give it to us.
Okay, thank you. I think I will just go this way. First and foremost, to be a radiographer, you need to study radiography
in UK.
Yeah,
or be from scratch.
Yeah, no, to be a radiographer or to work in the UK as a radiographer.
Yeah.
First of all, like originally I said I'm from Nigeria and I did my training back home before coming down to the UK. So now I'm going back to the roots. Now, so originally to work in the UK as a radiographer, you must have first been trained in whatever country you are, and you're already certified.
As a radiographer.
So you must have trained and be satisfied as well as a fully fledged radiographer. And then once that is done, depending on how the academical curriculum or scheme is back home, but using Nigeria for example, now you have to study for 5 years, after which you go for a compulsory or mandatory 1-year internship. And after that you do your NYSC service. So you can't go for I think you can't go for NYSC without your permanent license, because you can go to do your internship or mandatory 1-year internship with provisional license, of which that will be given onto you upon graduation. So you get your provisional license, but then you get your permanent license, like well registered with the Radiography Board of Nigeria, when you're done with your internship. So once that is being done, the next thing you need to do is to register with the regulatory board here in the UK, which is called Healthcare Professional Council, which is HCPC. You get, so that's like a big board here in the UK that regulates I think the is it Align Health, because we've got speech therapy, radiography, the lab scientist, which is called biomedical engineering here. We have physiotherapy, we have so many of them, I think, apart from pharmacy.
So all of these specialties now, they're all under,
apart from medicine and nursing, there are all other courses are being called what they call it, Align Health Practice or Profession. You get, so they're all under HCPC. So
HCPC,
Healthcare Professional Council.
That's it.
So so that was like a regulatory board. And then to get registered to this board, there are some requirements that you need to have, or some documents you need to have, so to get registered to the board. So to start with, you, like I said, you need to be one, trained and then fully registered.
That's the first thing you need to do. That's the first thing you need to do from Nigeria. You have to be licensed in Nigeria. That's the first step.
That's the first step.
Okay.
That's the first step. And then the next thing you consider doing is to be registered with HCPC. And then to register with HCPC, there's some other documents you will need to get to enable you, qualified to be registered with the HCPC, and then to say that you're now UK satisfied.
Okay.
So to list those documents, one, you will need your international passport.
Okay.
So definitely you should get your international passport at least while doing your internship or while doing your NYC service. You should have that one handy, because you use that one as your proof of
identification.
Identification. So that's like your proof of identification. And then you also get proof of address, which is like your bank statement or utility, like NEPA bill or something. So you need that one. And then there's something we call HCPC course form. So HCPC course form, you get it from the HCPC site, and then you take it to your department, of which most of the department now is a regular stuff, because many people are being registered every day, you understand. So most of these or university and departments or HOD, they have them already in the office. So all they need to do is just to change the cover page and then put your name as the new cover page, and they give it to you. So you need to get a HCPC course form, and that course form entails everything as regarding your courses, like all the courses you studied for 5 years, and then how the course, like how was the course being taught. Was it taught in English? Was it taught orally?
It's called there's something it's called in School of Nursing. When you finish, and then the way you're working, they need that
like
proof.
Transcript.
Is that the same thing as transcript?
Yes. But in this case, HCPC wants to see them in their own format, because they're going to do some work, some scrutiny. They call it scrutiny. They'll scrutinize all those documents and see if it's quite equivalent to what they do here in the UK. So they will now, ask you to make payments for registration. So that's one of the documents required. So I've mentioned your international passport, which is for your identification. I've mentioned your what you call bank statement or utility bill, which is proof of address. You get, and then we'll talk about the course form now. Then another thing you also need to get is your because English is not our first language, it's not our first language, even though we are being taught in English now. So they will ask, or they will want to know if English is your first language, even though you're taught in English. Even though you can speak English. English is not your language. You understand? So
when they are colonized by English.
You understand? English is not your language. It's not your first language. You understand? So you need to bring a proof that you can speak English. Of which during my time I use what they call we call it English proficiency. So English proficiency is usually gotten from your HOD, and that letter is paraphrased like this person was taught in English in school, in the whole schooling process. You understand? And the exam, everything was done in English. So the HOD will sign and stamp.
So that stands for your English proficiency. I think in this particular English proficiency, we do IELTS, IELTS exams. And so in your own case, you don't need to do IELTS.
So during my time, I didn't do any IELTS. But I understand now that there's some changes going on now. That's what they call it, that you need to have that, you need to do that. You need
to do the exams.
Yes, instead of the HCPC. But I'm not really sure about it, because from the documents it's been a while. It's been a while. I've joined their what they call it, like their is it Telegram group, like a group stuff. Is it seminar they call it, where they live broadcast? Live broadcast.
Telegram.
It's not really Telegram. Webinar. Webinar.
It's
been long I had joined their recent webinar.
So what was the last one? This updated one you talked about? What was it? When was it? Was it like this month or?
No, they've been saying it for quite some time now. Even
But it hasn't been in place yet.
yes, even before I registered my own.
They've been
Even if I
saying
registered,
that.
they've been saying it.
Oh.
Even in the course form, because before you to register, before you to register, they expect you to go through the course, the registration guideline, where they entail or tell you everything you need to know before applying for the KCPC for the license you get.
Yeah.
So and then they expect you to have gone through the guideline, expect you to have gone what we call standard of proficiency, for your course. Like a radiographer, you need to go through the standard of proficiency, know what they do, how they expect you to do, stuff like that, what they expect of you as a radiographer working under your scope of practice, So they expect you to go through all those stuff. So I saw it then, but then I went ahead and I used my what do you call it, English proficiency.
And they accepted
it was accepted.
But so they should just have it at the back of their mind that they might be requiring you to do IELTS. So you just like prepare.
Yeah,
just not to be caught unaware. Just prepare for IELTS, and then you can still do it that way. Till is out there that you must have an IELTS exam.
Yeah, correct. Because I think some are saying that the implementation will take place from September, which is next month.
Next month, yeah.
So
this is August ending. So
today's the last day of
yeah. So let's assume you want to start your application like say September or October.
Yeah.
You should be planning on writing IELTS exam literally.
Sure, after making your full fund.
But for now, it's not implemented yet. It's not implemented yet, but it's been said that it's going to be implemented. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So that's that for your proof of what do you call it,
English proficiency.
Your proof of English. So
you
need that, and then you also I think that's all the documents you will need. You need your license.
That's the basics.
Yeah, because you need your license as well, like your license. For some said, I think from recent applicants, they were like they didn't use the license.
Really?
Yeah.
So even if you don't have, if you're not licensed to practice as a radiographer in Nigeria, how then will you get the license to practice here? Or was it just the HAPC thingy? Was it just
the stuff? I think the stuff is that while filling the application, now currently during my time it was hard copy. I had to send it through DHL, and then traveled, fly to the UK. They did everything they did and then got back to me via email. But now, thankfully, and then it was like 3 months, 3 months before you get all the whole process done. Or no, 3 months before you get their attention for scrutiny.
Really?
Yeah.
So it takes that long? Yeah. Like roughly how long in total does it take? Like does it take up to 1 year?
No, roughly like 4 months.
4 months.
That was then, but now everything is done online, so you can get
so
your
it's
license.
Easier now.
It's more easier now. So within 1 week or within 2 weeks, you can get your what do you call it, your license number now.
Nice.
So but back then, we already know it takes 3 months before you get their attention. That's when they will tell you, okay, we've seen your application. Now we've gone through your documents and we saw that they are complete. Now make the scrutiny payment so that we can now go through your document and see if indeed what you've given us is actually corresponding to our standard here in the UK. Before they can now tell you, okay, I think we've satisfied you now, and we say you're okay, so you're now ready or you're now fit to register for the license, and then you now make some payment and they'll give you your PIN or your license number. So
all this is done from Nigeria?
Yeah, from Nigeria.
So you do all of this before you come to the UK?
You can't even come to the UK like that. After doing all that and getting your license, the next stage is to start looking for a job, which is job hunting. So when you job hunt and then get a job that will be ready to sponsor your coming and everything, that is when you're now
start the visa processing. So this is like in different phases. So it's in different phases. Like you have the phase of registration.
I call it international license. Have an international license first of all.
So you have the first stage of licensing,
and then the next stage is job hunting, and after job hunting,
visa processing.
You start preparing yourself
for
relocation.
So would you think that this process is like fair? Is it like fair enough, or is it tedious? Because it sounds really fair to me, because ours is like very, very tedious.
Well,
you don't take any exam at it. With all these things that you've just said now, there's no examination at any point aside from you getting your license to practice as a radiographer in Nigeria.
Yeah,
So it sounds really, really.
Some say it's soft work, but it's great. So
Yeah, but like I mean, to be fair,
yeah,
it sounds super easy because to be a nurse in the United Kingdom, like you need to after your own license in Nigeria and all the whole documentation and everything. When you get to the UK, you still need to do an examination to get your license. But you're getting your license before you start looking for a job in and then you don't even need to write any exam for it. You don't need IELTS as well.
Yeah, sure.
That's actually fair, to be honest. So can you just make sure that everybody like gets the whole process, just like run it through, like in summary, like just put them like in stages, like this stage, this stage. So don't really go into detail, just like go to like stages,
so
and then
the first stage is to get your international license, like I called it.
okay.
So after getting your international license, then
Is it like license to practice as a radiographer?
As a radiographer in the UK, so that's why I call it international license. Yeah, so it's like your international license, your gateway to move overseas.
Okay.
You know, and then the next stage is now what we call the job hunting, where you get to apply for a job, you know, submit supporting information, you know, try to get NHS or private, you know, you could get NHS job, you could get a private job, you know, depending on which one you want. And if you want them to give you full sponsorship, they've got some for full sponsorship and those without sponsorship as well. So it all depends on you. But preferable, our advice is that you go for the ones with sponsorship. So it will be much easier for you.
Okay.
Then the next phase is now the relocation, what they call it phase, whereby once you've gotten a job and then the HR of the trust or the hospital which you get job with, you know, which you got an offer, will now be telling you what to do, you know, what they call it, identification processes, you know, showing them that you've got your international passport against another different phase. So international passport, and now
I'm misleading us now. We need to understand these phases. We've identified 3 phases.
Yeah.
The international licensing phase, the job hunting phase, and then visa processing
relocation phase.
Yeah, so in this relocation phase, in this part where you start applying for your visa, do they at any point like offer any of this payment, or do you like have to do it yourself? Because in when it comes to like nursing relocation packages, the trust have to provide you some of these packages. Like they tell you this in your contract. Okay, look, we're providing for your visa, we're providing your COS, we're providing your flight ticket, we're providing you accommodation on arrival, providing you this and that.
Yeah.
Do they provide such packages for you guys, or
of course.
do you have to take care of these things yourself?
Of course, yeah. So like I said, once the job you're looking for or the job you landed yourself into is a sponsored job, so if they are sponsored, it means they will sponsor everything as regards to relocation. But then it depends on what area they're going to sponsor for you. So, and of which they will spill it out in the offer, or they will tell you as you converse or exchange email with the HR. And then sometimes, like in my own case, they didn't tell me, they didn't say anything about it, but I asked them. So it was in my asking, I was able to understand. Yeah, so it was in my asking, I was able to understand that okay, they've made so and so provision for me, not only just to benefit. That's why it's good to ask as well.
Isn't that risky that they don't tell people, or is it just like, is it different from other trusts?
I think,
or do you think it's general thing that they don't tell you what they're providing? They just tell you.
It depends. Every trust has how they do their stuff.
So you think it depends on the trust?
Yes, it depends, and then it depends on the HR too. Some of the HR, I think, some of them are really, I don't know the English to use now, but
sometimes it's usually like agencies that handle this relocation.
No, we've got some agent pathways too. Yes, so those agents now, theirs is to actually hunt this job for you and then give you the interview. So you go to the interview, you get, but What I'm
After the
talking
job,
about.
after once you've gotten the job, your relationship with the agency ends there.
Yeah,
The
no,
HR takes
it
over.
doesn't end there. So it's just like, I think those agents, what they do, if like I've got a friend and she explained or he explained such thing for me
Okay.
properly. So you say what they do is like the agency is just like the middleman
Between
between
you
them
and the
and the
trust.
trust. You
Oh,
understand?
okay.
So for job, what do you call it, hunting, and they land you an interview, and then you succeed to get an
That's
offer.
it for
You
them.
understand? No, they continue
Do they?
until you land. You just, and they do the what, the recruiting in bulk.
So
So
do they take over the job of the HR at this point, or do you still communicate to the HR at this point?
no, they communicate this. If you're dealing with an
Agency.
agent, like I say, agencies like they are like the middlemen. You
So the HR
understand?
doesn't communicate to you.
To
The
you,
HR
no,
communicates.
it
The
comments.
agency communicates to you. Oh, okay. So which one is easier? Because sometimes the people get like scammed on all of that. So which one do you
I think
advise?
like,
Do you advise people to not to use agencies, or do you advise people
yeah,
to use
so
the hospital HR to hear from the horse's mouth?
that's what I'm saying.
Horse's tail, horse's tail,
During
horse's mouth.
that's the smart. So during your job hunting, we
Yeah.
got sites where you do this job hunting. We have like track, we have NHS job, we have better job, better NHS job. You know, we have I think healthjobs.com .uk or whatever. So
Yeah.
we've got so many sites for this job hunting. So in this job hunting, when you start doing your job hunting, now you see different jobs with different band and role.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you're doing this job hunting, when you're doing this job hunting, you understand, you like I said, you have different sites for it. If you go through the site, you see different job roles and different job bands, and then in their adverts you see what they have, the packages they have.
Oh, it's there in the advert.
Yes,
Oh,
it's there in the advert. They'll tell
okay.
you what they'll tell you what they want, the job description, the person specification, and then towards the ending of those adverts, you see where they either provide what they call it certificate of sponsorship, COS. You know, so you see it, if they are providing, they will tell you from the
But
advert. If they're not providing,
it's not the responsibility of the trust to provide certificate of sponsorship once you offer an employment.
I don't know. It depends.
No, the COS is like, it's supposed to be like the basic thing they offer, because it's the trust that is sponsoring you, that are employing you from overseas. So they're meant to be like giving you this COS. So has there been any case where someone has to provide their own COS? Are you aware of any of those cases?
I'm not really aware of such
Okay,
cases.
so there's never been any case where one has to pay
That
for their own
that I
COS
know
now.
of.
Okay.
That I know of.
That's fair enough, because that's going to like give someone like a scare getting serious, because sometimes people get scammed by trying to find like that, because it's really
No,
like,
to be sincere, I've got no knowledge of such.
good.
Yeah, so
All right.
yeah, so basically that's it. So from the adverts, you already know what you're going into for,
Okay.
and then you pick whatever role and then apply. You get, so when
So
you're being
what
shortlisted,
role do you apply for when you are coming from Nigeria? What role do you apply for?
It depends. You could apply for a band 5 role, like myself. I landed
From Nigeria,
yeah,
band 5.
band 5.
That's really good.
Band 6. You could even
From
you
Nigeria.
could even actually get band 7 as
That's
well.
are you serious?
From Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's possible.
Because in sorry for interrupting you, but in the nursing sector, you can apply for band 5 role, but when you come to the UK, you're not working as a band 5, you're working as a band 4. Most people have actually worked as a band 3. I'm coming to the UK, but after your OSCE examinations, then you can now work as a band 5. So I'm very surprised to hear that you can actually apply as a band 6 and work as a band 6. That's really, you guys are actually enjoying, though. I mean, radiographers are like easy peasy, like if that's the case.
I think even just like I said, all those are professional that the HCPC. I think you get band 5, band 6, even physiotherapists they do. So
okay, so the sorry, can you
HCPC.
So those roles under the HCPC, do they follow this same pathway as you? The same pathway. And they can actually work as a band 6 and band 7 on arrival. Wow. That's good. That's really good to hear.
Yeah, so it's just while doing your application process, you'll be able to sell yourself well, sell yourself for whatever role you're going for. Make sure you sell yourself well. If you go more or enough experience, you can sell it well, package it well, package yourself well. You
Package
market,
yourself well.
package yourself,
Sell
well.
yourself.
Sell yourself.
So, is there like any money? Sorry, I'm asking so many questions, but like I need my people to know. They need to be informed. Okay,
So they'll not be deformed.
Exactly. So, is there any money that I need to pay at any point during the process of this job hunting and whatever, aside from the visa, which could be paid for by the trust, but
Yeah.
is there like any financial attachment to any of these processes?
Okay, so if I would say financial commitment you have to make is during your HCPC, because you need the HCPC application form is divided into two forms where you pay for the scrutiny fee, of which you pay about 500 and is it 539.3 something or whatever, but it's 5 something.
Sorry, is it naira or pounds?
In pounds, 539 something pounds, yeah. So and then that's the for scrutiny. They can scrutinize you and say you're not qualified, that you don't want to again, and that money is gone.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so it's like an investment. It's like also a risk too.
Is it just £500? Is there another one you have
so
to pay?
after you finish paying for that, just for scrutinize it, they'll scrutinize your document.
You send your document to them.
Yes,
and they tell you yes, you're qualified or not.
So once you're qualified or you meet their standard, then they'll now give you a go ahead to say, okay, now because they do before they give you the license, they'll tell you that we do license for 2 years. There's 2 year cycle, and then renew a 2 year cycle, and then maybe if you fall in when 1 year has already gone, so they tell you, okay, we have 1 more year, so just pay for the 1 more year, stuff like that. So that 1 year or 2 year now, depending, you have to pay for your final licensing. And that, I think, for the 2 years is about 190 something
pounds.
Yeah, pounds. And then for 1 year, it should be around 98 pounds.
So this
in total, so you'll be paying everything like maybe let's say like 600 something pounds, yeah,
to get the licensing,
to get the international
verification.
license.
So in summary, just like verification, basically.
Yeah.
Because we pay our verification here to the council in Nigeria to verify to the council in UK that we are qualified and we are licensed.
No, it's different.
It's different.
That one too, you have to pay like my board.
Do you pay to
you have to
Nigerian?
You have to pay for my board.
Why are you mixing us all these points? Because we need to know all these things.
You pay. I think you pay. The last I paid was, and of which is still current now. You pay a sum of 20,000 to the Nigeria board, so that they call it letter of good standing. So they'll be able to so they'll be able to send back to ACPC, because that's during the scrutiny.
So did you do that one before applying for the verification to the UK board, or?
I think you're getting it confused, because your process in nursing and ours is quite different.
Yeah.
You understand? Like I said, that we've got the HCPC fees, and the HCPC fees, which is the international license fees. Now it has some other compartments. Now in those compartments, now we have, when I mentioned the documents, things required,
the good standing is inside.
It's inside.
Okay.
But then before then, they will ask you to give them some references. Now those references, now one comes from the board, one comes from your university. I think
Anthony.
Yeah.
I think like we're getting this like a little bit haphazard information. We need to like actually get this in that part, in that phase where you get your licensing from the United Kingdom and where you do your scrutiny, when you do the verification from Nigeria, what exactly does it entail? What is involved in that phase? What document? Just go in depth. We need to get this information. Okay, is that okay by you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you.
So like I said initially, that we have like 3 phases. First, the international licensing phase. We have the the job hunting phase, and then we have the relocation phase. Now the international licensing phase. Now, like I said earlier on, you need some documents to submit to them for you to be scrutinized. And now, like I said, the first thing is you need to be a radiographer. trained and certified
Okay.
or licensed.
Okay.
When you're trained and licensed, now HCPC needs some documents before they scrutinize you. And those documents we're talking about, we need your international passport for means of identification. We need what do you call it, your bank statement or utility bill, which is NEPA bill, for means of what do you call it, address to identify your house address or your contact address. And then we also need a course form, of which you will get from your school, your HOD, you know, telling them that these are the things you've done during your 5 years in school, and they will have to go through it and see if indeed is up to their standard or their qualification here in the UK. Again, so you also need to submit some reference to them, and those references you get one from your school, which is your HOD, one from the what do you call it, your board, and then one from all just maybe any person or your
like personal reference.
Just put it as your work, because you need to provide, while filling the form, you need to provide what do you call it, your work experience. So the third one will be from your work experience to your work reference, you get. So now once you submit this form or once you submit all these details, the next thing you need to do, HCPC will tell you thank you that your application has already been submitted, and
now
then they will now ask you to wait. Then when they get your document, the next thing they will ask you to do, or you will make a payment. Okay, I think now it's online. So once you submit your what they call it, your document, you'll make the payment of scrutiny. Yeah, so your scrutiny fee, you make the payment. So when you make that payment,
the £500 and the 160.
No, you just make the 500 and something pounds first. That's your scrutiny fee. So once they scrutinize you and you're not qualified, the money is gone. You understand?
That's a huge amount of money.
So the money is gone.
Did they like give you time, tell you sorry, that kind of thing?
Obviously, they'll tell you thank you for applying, but unfortunately, at this time,
that was really painful.
You understand? So unfortunately, after thanking you,
so has there been any point where somebody missed that scrutiny and then they're disqualified?
I've not seen, but
because
from the guideline and everything, that's what they keep telling you, that you make sure that everything is complete, make sure you are ready, make sure your stuff like that. So now when you've done all those stuff, now the process of scrutiny, now they will now go through your documents and then contact all your reference. Now they will contact your board. That was why I say, okay, you can put your license, you understand, because your license will now indicate your board, you understand. So when they contact your board now will now ask you to pay a fee of 20,000, depending. I think my own board is about 20,000. There's some amount of 20,000 you pay for a little good standing.
Is there a particular board in Nigeria that represents all the radiographers?
Yeah, it's just one board.
Nigeria.
Just one board that represents all the radiographers in Nigeria. I think I heard of MedLab that theirs is about 100k, 100,000.
But you guys don't have a particular amount.
No, ours is just 20,000.
Okay.
So they have specific amount though. So ours is just 20,000 for radiographers.
Okay.
I think I'm just saying I heard that in lab science, that is a med lab scientist.
Okay.
Theirs is about 100.
Ours is like 145.
Eh?
No, I'm mistaken. That's registration fee.
Okay.
I think then mine was about 20,000 naira, but now it's gone up now.
Okay, so that's it. So once you make that payment of good standing, that's with your board. So your board will send them a letter of good standing, and then they will say, okay, they will clarify you board wise, and then the next person they will contact is your university, which could be your HOD. Definitely is your HOD. Your HOD will give a reply stating that okay, you're good, they know you, they taught you or whatever, and then the next reference or the next person they will contact is now your workplace, because you provided your most recent work experience.
And if you're not in a good time with work,
so it will be a problem for you. See, that's why it's good to be good, because you don't know where to
have a good
take
slate.
You understand? So they will now have to contact your what do you call it, your work person or supervisor or whatever. So when they finish with all this scrutiny, these 3 references and then your document as a whole, they'll now say, okay, I think this person is eligible, to have, or is worthy enough to have the license. You get? So that's when they will now give you a message or send you a mail, tell you that okay, we've gone through your scrutiny. I think you're okay, you're certified. Now the next stage is now for you to make the payment for your license, of which, like I said earlier, we have 2 cycles. We have one cycle. It's not like one cycle. It's just when when a professional has 2 cycle, and then maybe when you are registering, you are now 1 cycle has already passed, so the remaining one, so they ask you to make payment for that 1 cycle that is remaining.
Okay.
You get, so that's where you now pay the remaining. Depending, 2 cycles about 190 something pounds, and then if it's 1 cycle, it's about 98 pounds something.
This cycle now is the year you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. So is there any? What are the things that could make someone's verification not go through? Like when after making that payment, is there anything that we should look out for when sending the documents? What can make someone not to be accepted, or how do you call it? Is it accepted or
not to be registered or something like that? I think that should be fine to be registered. So definitely one is when you provide an email of any of the 3 references, and they delayed or they refuse answering. They might be lenient enough to tell you to provide another email. But when all this email didn't come through, or you can't get someone where they could reach out to, then it is gone.
Wow.
It is gone. I think the next one again might be it will stand as a delay, and then when they try all possible best, because they are also human beings like us. But then it will just when you try all effort and nothing is forthcoming, you might miss your chance. And then I think another thing again is maybe not providing the right document. So it might delay your process. But basically, I've not really heard of what they call it, of someone after making the scrutiny fee not being licensed. You understand? The only problem is that you might have some delays, but in the long run, you will eventually get it done. So.
Thank you for that. That was really intense, and it was really in depth. Thank you so much for taking your time to explain that for all. And sorry for my incident questions. I'm sorry about that. So I'm sure my viewers are going to benefit from this a lot. Like, this is really, really helpful. So so all these parts now you've talked about, these 3 parts: the verification part, the scrutinization part, and then the visa part. So when it comes to the relocation part, like the ending part,
and the international licensing part, the job hunting part, and then the last one, which is the relocation.
Okay. So what like do people need to look out for while in this stage? What do you advise them not to do, or what do you advise them to do?
Okay, so why maybe after getting a job, I would advise you not to resign from where you're working. Definitely don't.
Very important.
Yeah, it's very important, because yes, you've gotten the job. That is true. But there's something along the way or something along the line could happen. And then
then it's gone.
It is gone.
Village people.
So the best thing is that when you have this job, keep it within yourself. You get, and then follow it up, which is the relocation phase, or the relocation part now. So that part now, you keep communicating with your HR, keep communicating with your HR, or your HR agent. So they will prepare your COS, which we call the certificate of sponsorship, of which they will send to you. When they send it to you, you will now use that one now to go and apply for your
visa.
What they call it, visa. And then in that COS, there's a part where they will say they will cater for your what they call it, all your expenses. So you don't need any you don't need any money in your account. You don't need anything. You can have 0.00, and the embassy,
I think it's student that requires them to have money.
So they will not ask you for any money, because they will state on that COS that they were able to cater for you. But then if they say no to it, if they say no, they're not going to cater for you, definitely you need to find good amount of money to be in your account. I think they did it to one of my colleagues. So he was able to graduate and to get like, I think, about 5 million or something.
What was it? What did you use the 5 million? Was it for visa, or was it for tickets?
It's not tickets, but for him to do the visa. So they say, okay, that your hospital, your trust says they are not sponsored, as in they are not catering for you financially. So if you go to the UK, how do you want to startup life
Okay,
manager. What
okay.
finance do you have? So
Okay, no money on
yeah,
arrival,
so they
no
want to
cash
go.
in
Yeah, they don't
arrival.
want you to come and become a nuisance. You get what I mean?
But
So
that one is like basic thing that you need to have when you're traveling. You need to have like you need to exchange some money.
it's not that
Even
one
though in
like
my
to
package
have.
I was giving like £450 on arrival, but I still came with like some money
So, but I think that one they say they need it. So they need the money to
in
be
his
in their
account.
account. Yeah. So they will know that they have it in their account or something. So,
Anyway.
but basically, if they are giving you COS and they said yes to that, you're fine, you're covered. You don't need any money in your account, and then that's just it. So after doing your biometric with whatever TLS center, then you wait for 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. Your visa is ready. You book your flight. Your flight, they could book it for you directly, or they'll ask you to make the booking, and then when you come over to the UK, they'll pay you back. So once you book your flight, you arrange yourself, you start coming. Okay, that COS they give to you, it takes about 3 months before it gets expired. So that's 3 months
You have
now.
to travel
Yeah,
within that 3 months.
no, the 3 months you need to do with the COS. That 3 months you need to do your visa, go for your visa, you understand?
Okay.
So if for anything you didn't make it up, you didn't make it up for your visa and it expires, you just need to inform them so they were able to renew it again. Yeah. So and then once you do your visa comes out, you have about 90 days, which is like 3 months, to stay, to have it in your hand before you travel to the UK. So for any reason you didn't travel within that 3 months, you just let them know so they were able to renew it. So once you do all this step, take your time. It's a long way you're going now, so you have to take your time.
Do you now resign?
Yes. So when you've seen your visa, you're sure the visa is in your
Japan
hand,
is sure.
like your ticket. You know that it is done. So you have to now tender your resignation, and then prepare yourself mentally, spiritually, physically,
Very
and
important.
even food-wise.
Very, very, very
Food-wise.
important. Very important. I think I have a video I made on the food to bring when coming to the UK. Most people I had someone bring beans.
No, nah.
Someone brought yam. Someone brought gari. I'm like, what exactly are you bringing all these things for? You have it here. You can actually buy them here. Why are you carrying gari, beans from Nigeria? It is heavy. It's heavy.
It's some little a touch of beans, a touch of rice.
No, because you can get those in the African shops
some
here.
of us don't know now.
That's why I made those. I made that video, but some people will still bring it. So I've seen some people, even after watching, even after telling them, don't bring don't bring yam. They will still carry loads and be coming. Oh God, and it's just so funny because this is why these informations are there for you. Yeah, like when you watch these videos, you know what avoid.
I think I'm among those people that say okay.
Even though
there might be food though, there might be all these things here, but we're like, okay, let me just carry them at least for the next 3 months. I will survive with them. I will not touch my salary. You get that point? So of course,
but that's extra. It's an extra load for you because instead of you carrying that thing, carry fish, dried fish, carry vegetable, carry crayfish,
we carried all those
brown pepper, because those are lightweight. But imagine carrying beans. Yam, gari, go the weight alone, they take us in 3.
I carry 2 paint of gari.
God, that's so funny.
I carry 2.
They will chase you back to your house.
They'll package it.
Or even carry oil, like gallon of oil. I carried it when I was coming to as well. Oh. Anyway, that was very nice. That was a very fun section. What's going to be like your advice, because most people have this this idea here, no idea but a thing here, like being single and all of that, all of that, how to go for it. So as a single person coming to the UK as a radiographer or whatever, student or nurse, whatever field you are, as a single person or as a married person, what's going to be like your advice?
Okay, let me just start with the married ones because they don't marry yet. So I think even if you're serious cover for your family as well, you need to come first. You need to come alone first. You know,
very important.
Put things in order. And then when you put things in order and they are well in shape, you could now bring your family to come stay with you so that it will help keep loneliness to some extent if you're a type that gets lonely or not lonely at the top.
Lonely at the top.
You understand? So they'll come, keep you company and that stuff like that, and then life goes on. Then for those who are single, so basically it depends anyway. Some people will tell you that it's good for you to have somebody at home, so that when you come here, you now work hard and fast in the process and bring the person as your dependent or something like that. So it also depends on you too, because even if you come down to the UK, definitely it's just a matter of time you'll be able to meet and mingle, with young people are like-minded, you understand? And then you could also, who knows, you could also find you're missing rate too.
But some people find it difficult to get people in UK.
Why people find it difficult? You know why people find it difficult to get people in the UK is because, first of all, their orientation. The orientation is that I'm coming to pack money, I'm coming to work.
And they want to use work and give themselves.
So why, if you work, you spend all your time every day, morning and night, you don't see the sun outside, don't see the night. Every time you're in the hospital, how will you not see somebody? How will you mingle?
How will they make money?
So the whole stuff is to balance this thing, balance it very well.
Yeah.
And sometimes you give yourself a break, you chill out.
True.
Get some fresh air. Go outing, go for sightseeing, go for vacation. You see people too. You see like-minded, ladies. Find ladies in the UK. Find ones. You know what I mean? If I mean find ones, I mean find ones. You get too. Forget it though.
Emphasis on find ones.
Find ones. Complete package. Like Mr. Macaroni will say, full package. Understand? But you have to leave work small. You have to leave the pounds.
Let the work breathe.
Let the work breathe. And you know what I mean? Let the work breathe a little, so that you self for PC road see better thing with your eyes and
stop packing shifts.
You understand? Stop packing shift. Imagine you want to see another lady and she tell you that she has shift. You cannot go out for a date with someone because she has shift.
That's true.
So they need to learn how to prioritize this stuff. Balance this life. You understand? So
do you think that this work thing now, it causes like a lot of problems for like some people. In fact, even like families, friendship, and all of that. I've had like some friends that have been in UK. We've been here like 1 year. We haven't seen each other. Like, so what do you think? Like, what do you think about this work issue and friendship issue and maintaining friendship and maintaining relationship?
So, I think once it concerns that one, I think it's about intentionality. Like, you need to be intentional. Basically, not unlike back home or some places I don't know back home. They don't give you don't know your work schedule. You just know you come to work every day.
Yeah.
But in this place, some of them provide 3 months work schedule for you, so you already know how your 3 months is like. You understand? So before the 3 months elapses, they will now prepare the other 3 months. So you already know. That's why I think this is where people say UK is boring, because you already know how your life. You already plan your life for the next 3 months.
I'm working on Monday.
Nothing dynamic. Unlike Nigeria, if you go to work and come back tomorrow, now you say, oh, they've increased fuel price. They've done this one. So everything is just like,
you see your shift.
So if you know your shift pattern already, you already know when you're off. You already know when you'll be off. You already know when you take leave. Stuff like that. So you already know this stuff. And if you have a friend that you want to meet up with, it's just to communicate with the person. Bros, sis, how far? You understand? We want to meet at so time. What's your work schedule like? So let's plan it. And you could plan. That's why Oyibo people tell you do to-do list, to have a plan or have a schedule. That's why their calendar is very effective, So you plan yourself, okay, we want to meet by so time. You can do it 1 month ahead.
Yeah, that's one thing again.
If
you're in UK, you have to plan like
very well.
2 months. First time you even plan like 1 year.
Very well, because here they plan everything.
Yeah.
And if you miss out on a thing, you've missed out on a thing. You understand? So don't go back again. So you planned. If you're not planned, if you don't know how to make a well organized life, man, you've missed out on it. You understand? So you manage your time, you manage your resources, you manage everything.
My resource manager. Oh shit.
You let it here.
True. And it's very and it's really true.
If you can't do that, then you're not ready to, manage people as well. So that was it. Wisdom.
Investors. Shit.
See.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what's going to be your advice for like radiographers out there aspiring to work in the UK, you know, with the ones that are still in school, trying to finish up, because and then the ones that are looking for a job at each stage of the life of the process? What's going to be your advice to them?
Yeah. For those who are still in school, my advice is study hard. You know, if you have opportunities to go for practical classes like hand-on program, go for them. You know, go for them. If you can start on time, start on time. I started my from 200 level.
What did you call it?
From 200 level.
What did you call the program?
Practical classes, like practical, like, you know, after the semester you go home to rest and chill. But I went to attach myself to one of these hospitals.
Like summer. Nice.
So it's good. You're in school, apart from learning theoretically, go and learn practical wise. Try to be good.
Experience.
You know, try to be good. Try to be very, very, very good. Like, know why you're doing what you're doing. You understand? So don't be a quack. You get. So yeah, I'm serious. Don't be
very
a quack.
important. Don't be a what?
A quack. So, and then for those who are already working, like a licensed radiographer
in Nigeria.
In Nigeria. So my advice is just be better at what you do, and if you have the opportunity, like you have the dream of coming down here to come and work, it's also a good thing. Push through with it. You know, push through with it. Fuel your passion, and then make your way down to this place. And then there's so much to be achieved here as well. So come and dominate ground, conquer territory,
break grounds.
break new grounds. You know what I mean? So that's my advice for them. And generally speaking, whatever profession it is, just follow your aspiration, and then you can see the way our country is going. So it's up to you. They say a word is enough for the wise, isn't it? So
guys, I've come to the end of this interview. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being on the channel with us. Thank you so much for your time and taking your time to explain all of this for us. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you have a question, do not forget to put it in the comment section, and I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.
Yes.